The Calvo Tenorio campaign has always promised transparency and openness. In this bill it says censorship of a journalist's voice is the censorship of the people. There's 11 students left waiting for one school bus. As the jungle comes down behind these two schools, the mayor and administrators all agree this is a visual outward expression. If they can get to the back corner of the school, it's almost impossible to see a little kid diving behind this tall grass. It looks like about size 9.5 kicked through this door to get into the office. Kids are faced with the toughest decision of the day, what to eat. Parents can only hope when their child is faced with that tough decision, they make the healthy choice. As for Guam, almost 40 schools and even more businesses will practice drop, cover, and hold tomorrow. DPW says their major concern is getting your kids safely to school on time. As you can see by the water, we're constantly moving at least 30 miles an hour. The fourth life has been claimed here at Woostig Road and Marine Corps Drive. Candidates are looking for good land and good neighbors. And when surrounded by the popular names, it's kind of like being on oceanfront property here in Tumon. And that's why billboards and commercials work so well. May not look like much from far away, but students at this campus kicked off their shoes to raise awareness of the millions of children that walk barefoot every single day. Scorpions only need the space the size of this credit card to slip into your home. People are still talking about the frightening events that happened in California. And it makes sense, almost 50% of all adults online have at least one social networking profile. Dead mice going airborne, all to protect the people of Guam. It sounds like the making of a blockbuster hit. The dead mice being dropped over my shoulder, as you can see, have radio transmitters inside them to see if the brown tree snake will take the bait. Over a patch of jungle on the naval base, mice packed with Tylenol hang from branches. For nearly 20 years, the U.S. Department of Agriculture Wildlife Services has battled the invasive brown tree snake. Today, they're taking that fight to new heights.
In order to do it on the ground, you've got to go out and actually walk up to a tree, or you've got to go to a bait station and place the bait inside that station. So in a chunk of forest that you don't have roads or you've got really steep terrain, you simply can't get to it by foot. And the idea here is that by using an aerial delivery system, we can put it into a larger landscape and more effectively control snakes across a bigger area.
Over a half-century ago, the snake was accidentally brought to Guam. With no natural predator, the snake flourished, killing wildlife and destroying power lines. In the fictitious world of The Simpsons, citizens dedicated one day to snake hunting. Here on Guam, we're dedicating rodent bombs and traps.
The brown tree snake traps that you see around Guam are actually the most effective trap for catching snakes in the world. Most of the traps that people see, however, are sitting on a fence or on a port, and they're targeting the few snakes that might get to that fence.
The snake has cost the Power Authority millions of dollars and can be directly linked to the disappearance of multiple species.
Baldo Besich hit the highway for an HOV crackdown ride. Baldo?
Toby, I was able to ride with a DPS officer and a carpool during rush hour. What I've learned is while a carpool might be some work to put together, it pays off in the end. For Enoch Norton and Jeff Flores, carpooling to work was not an easy decision.
I think all of last week I was hassling Jeff about the possibility of carpooling.
But on this first try, the co-workers quickly discovered a drive that took an hour has been cut in half because of the fast-moving carpool lane.
At 5 o'clock, it's almost a standstill.
And when the regular highway lanes slow down, work for DPS officers picks up.
Well, the reason why I stopped you is so you're getting out of the HOV lane, okay? And could not see a second passenger in your vehicle. But also you're in an HOV lane and you don't have anybody in the car with you too, you know? I'm sorry. For any reason why you're in that lane?
I was just gonna pass.
You're gonna pass somebody?
Officer Darty says he has more time to track down HOV violators because cooler temperatures means there are fewer vehicles breaking down on the highways. And with every citation comes some friendly advice.
Just stay in the regular lane. It's a very expensive citation and it's not worth it.
But this crackdown is making the drive totally worth it to the real carpoolers.
You know, you catch somebody cheating and the authority figure pulls them off and punishes them. It felt good. That citation would cost you $388 and 2 points on your license. But consider this, even the smallest passenger, an infant, would grant you the right to the carpool lane. In Phoenix, Baldo Besich, Cronkite News.
Private First Class Jazine Petrie will forever be remembered. As the flag flies at half-staff, family and friends crowded inside the library, met by the fallen soldier memorial. School books and a desk Petrie once used, and a wreath, the student body's gift to the family. Those who knew Petrie best spoke of her, the third soldier to die from Simon Sanchez High School in recent years.
She was the reason to why I went out there and joined organizations and helped out with like school stuff. You know, she pushed me to do those kinds of things. So.
Petrie told her best friends during her junior year at Simon Sanchez she was going to enlist in the Army.
She's a super duper caring person and she'll do anything for her friends and her family, and she's not the type of person where you can, if you tell her no, she'll do it. Like, you know, if you try, she'll prove you wrong.
Petrie never stepped down from a challenge, from boxing to wrestling to cross country.
In one of her class projects, she wrote, "I fight girls who are bigger than me, guys who are stronger than me. Sometimes I lose, but I'm still proud of myself."
Petrie not only influenced her peers, but she was constantly in touch with her teachers. And after 3 years with English teacher Miss Andres,
but today she's teaching me that life is short. Don't let fear get in the way of your desires and dreams.
the loss of a daughter, sister, friend slowly hits everyone in the room. Jazine Petrie, thank you for your service. For Guam News Watch, I'm Baldo Besich.